Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the end of another week of lockdown. Editing a Vivaldi Violin Concerto every day to highlight the La Serenissima Relief Fund for musicians who've lost all their work. I think I've got one more concert between now and September that needs to be cancelled, and then everything's gone. We were looking yesterday at RV 282 in F major. Finished that, absolutely brilliant concerto. Probably gets an AID rating of 8.5. Again, it's very good piece. Interestingly, the manuscript is in portrait format, which possibly suggests that the paper may have been from Northern Europe. Italian manuscript paper is generally landscape, but this is in portrait. So, judging by the style, it's possible that it was written during Vivaldi's trip to Central Europe in 1729, 1730. A trip that he made with his father, who's also a brilliant violinist. And interestingly, towards the end, normally Vivaldi never stints on his use of manuscript paper, so he never tries to shove too many things on one stage. He's normally, particularly in his concertos, generally sticks to the right number of stays for each system. But one wonders towards the end of this concerto whether he started running out of paper. Maybe because he was on his travels, don't know. One of the things I always think is a shame about Vivaldi is that he never left us a treatise on how to play the violin, what his thoughts were on violin technique. But actually, if you know what to look for in the manuscripts, there's an awful lot of information you can find. For instance, at the start of the second movement of 282, there's this beat here. He's writing in a sort of French dotted style, but this beat here is the only beat where he writes quaver, semiquaver rest, semiquaver, which shows everybody how he wants you to play all his dotted rhythms throughout the rest of the concerto, which is really very rare that you see that. Other bits of information that he, again, like the previous concerto that we were editing, the one in E minor, huge number of dynamics in this piece. And also, some people wonder whether Vivaldi concertos should be played one to apart. I've never particularly subscribed to that theory. Indeed, at the end of this manuscript, there's a very interesting marking that you actually find in quite a few later Vivaldi manuscripts, where he refers to the first and second violins of the orchestra as violini primi and secondi, i.e. plural. So there must have been more than one that were playing each part. So that's the concerto in F major, RV 282. Moving on today, back to one of his earlier concertos, this one, the 12th concerto of the Stravaganza publication, Opus 4. This one in G major, and again, like one of the other Stravaganza concerti that we edited recently, this one has a marking of spiritoso, which is a kind of marking that you occasionally find in earlier Vivaldi, but not really later Vivaldi. That people say he composed the same concerto 400 times is so unfair. I'll just play you a bit of the opening of the previous, the 282 concerto. This is possibly around about 1730. It kind of gives you an idea of how the two styles are so completely different, yet so totally Vivaldian. This is 282. So there you go. That's a sort of 1730 style writing with lots. I mean, sort of lots of different affects in the movement. But this is the concerto we're just starting, the 12th concerto of the Opus 4, and much earlier Vivaldi style. There you go. So we'll be finishing that today, and we'll be back with you on Monday with another concerto in G minor. Have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed the sunshine. If you have sunshine, we're supposed to have a good forecast here, so looking forward to getting out into the garden. Cheers, guys. Bye.